with Madison Square Garden and Cablevision. And that's Cesar Vasquez on the ceremonial opening tip, where many of the kids who have so much difficulty in their regular lives are being benefited by various projects and events for the Garden of Dreams, and a number of them are in attendance tonight as they watch the Knicks and the Mavericks. Probably throw the toss better than some of the officials. That's why they got rid of the toss in the college game, because the officials couldn't throw a consistent toss.
They don't practice it. It is hard, but you got to practice it.
So he'll get a thrill of a lifetime, Cesar, and then we'll get underway. These early Sunday evening starts, been a bunch of them at 6 o'clock. And as usual, a lot of kids in attendance, in addition to Cesar and his Garden of Dreams pals. So we're set to go. He doesn't want to leave, but I don't blame him.
I thought he threw it so well, he might as well stay.
So another night where the Knicks are undersized, a big lineup for the Dallas Mavericks with Dampier and Nowitzki in the backcourt. Some of the matchups will be interesting to watch. Zach Randolph is chatting away with Eric Dampier already. And it's Chandler who will guard Nowitzki.
Very tough matchup for Wilson Chandler and Dirk Nowitzki. Tough matchup for anyone in the league.
Josh Howard misses Randolph the rebound. And that's been one of the problems for the Mavericks. They're just not shooting the ball well. Under 43%. They're 25th in the league in shooting. And again, it's early in the season, but they have not played well. Crawford knocks down his first shot. There's somebody who is shooting well.
I couldn't have said it better, Mike. Yeah, Jamal Crawford really feeling confident. He's just starting to get involved and understand Mike D'Antoni's system. And I think Mike expected this from Jamal all along.
Green gets it inside. Howard, hop step, as Duhon tried to pick up the charge.
Now, you were hinting on Dallas's woes shooting the ball. How about under 30% from the three-point line as well? They have really, really struggled from the perimeter.
That's one of the worst numbers in the league. Randolph gets inside.
He can go to that all night long. There is no way that Dampier can guard Randolph out on the perimeter.
Nowitzki posting up. We'll see if the Knicks double. Crawford showing a little bit. Turnaround shot is good. Nowitzki in the early season is averaging just over 22 a game, but he's shooting just 43%.
What makes that matchup so difficult is he's giving away the size. I mean, you can battle with Dirk Nowitzki down low, but that 3 or 4 or 5 inches you give away is just difficult to guard.
Crawford has Gerald Green guarding him. Good ball movement. Richardson off the dribble. Shot clock down to 6. Blocked by Howard. Howard can be one of the more talented defenders in the NBA.
Rangy guy, very good athlete, slasher type, does a lot of different things.
Nowitzki again. And that's going to be a problem, as Chandler, as hard as he's working defensively, is not going to be able to stop the 7-footer by himself.
He's a problem everywhere on the floor.
Crawford knocks down a 3. So Jamal Crawford's hot shooting continues. He's hit his first 2.
Well, we'll see how the Knicks start to defend Dirk Nowitzki in the post, whether they're going to send someone down the double team. You've got to take it out of his hands, but they run a great 2-man game between him and Jason Kidd.
Well, the Knicks with the early lead on the Mavericks. Howard out to Dampier. Dampier left wide open. Comes up short, and Green up. They're going to wave it off. The ball was above the cylinder, and that appeared to be the right call.
Well, that was exciting nonetheless. Everybody stood around. They will give Eric Dampier that shot all night long. You see this come off the rim, and look how high Gerald Green is. It was above the cylinder. You called it, Mike.
Green, the kid from Texas, right from high school to the NBA, who a lot of Knicks fans wanted to draft back in 2005. Randolph knocks down another, and the Knicks are 4 or 5 to start this game.
Just oozing with confidence. You can just see it in Zach's eyes. He feels comfortable on the perimeter, and of course, he's very, very good down low.
And the Knicks having a lead on the Mavericks, that's news. Last year, the Knicks lost both games to the Mavericks. Never had a lead in either game. Got blown out in both games. We're down by as much as 29 in one of them. So they hadn't been competitive as they throw it ahead. Chandler goes inside. Nice move. Can't get it. Gets it back, but he caught it, and it didn't appear to hit the backboard. Leon Wood's going to check with Joe DeRosa.
I thought it did, Mike. I thought it got a piece of the backboard. We're at a difficult angle, but that's exactly what the call was. And I guess they disagree with me. You get a look. Good angle here.
Ooh, that's close.
I think it did.
It may have grazed it. Well, it's tough to see.
Don't you think it changed direction there at the end?
It seemed to, just that one little bit.
Well, they're human, by the way, the referees we're talking about.
Joe DeRosa, Leon Wood, a former player who you played against, and Violet Palmer. Nowitzki knocks down another, and Nowitzki 3 for 3 to start.
Yeah, and that's a bad sign for the Knicks because Dirk Nowitzki, as we said, has been struggling shooting the ball, but he's getting in a comfort zone early on here.
Duhon, this pass at the bottom of the backboard, a rare turnover for Duhon, who has one of the best assist-to-turnover ratios in the league in the early going. And Dirk Nowitzki misfires that time.
Entertaining matchup between Kidd and Duhon. A defender is Duhon, and Jason Kidd playing very, very well lately.
Randolph for 3. That's good. Zach Randolph, 3 for 3. And once again, not hesitant. He's only shooting 28%. And Mike D'Antoni says, Kelly, that we don't want him always shooting, but if he's wide open like that, he's okay with it.
And you know what's good about that, Mike, is his shots early in the game. He got a couple of shots to go down to feel comfortable, then moves out, and now you have your confidence to shoot the 3.
Josh Howard draws the foul. Chandler will pick up his first, and Howard to the line.
Well, we mentioned Zach Randolph and how well he's playing. 7 double-doubles in a row, but Mike D'Antoni will tell you he's doing the little things. He's moving without the ball. Here he gets an open look and no hand up. Feels confident after making a couple before that, and he knocks down another 3. It's not something we're going to see consistently, but coach doesn't mind when he goes out there and has an opportunity to knock one down. He'll take it.
Howard misses the first. Knicks with the early lead. And first substitution, James Singleton, the former Clipper, who last year played in Italy or in Spain. He comes in. This here will sit down. Already you're seeing a change in the matchup forced by the offensive play of the Knicks.
You're exactly right, Mike. I was just going to mention that. That's all predicated on the fact that Zach Randolph's out to such a good start. They bring a smaller player in Singleton. He'll now guard Randolph.
And you said it right from the start that Dampier would not be able to guard Randolph, especially with his ability to come out on the perimeter. Chandler off the dribble. Nice looking jumper for his first field goal.
And that's key for him too, Mike, because as much as difficulty it is guarding him, Dirk Nowitzki I'm talking about, you've got to make him play defense at the other end.
Nowitzki in the high post. Howard. Knicks do a good job switching, but it's now Richardson on Nowitzki. Lost it to double team. Ball knocked loose. Green has a kid, has to put it up with the shot clock expiring. Won't go. Randolph pulls down another rebound, already 4.
Solid defense, got a deflection.
Richardson off the dribble. That's good. And the Knicks red hot, 7 of 8 to start. And they lead 16-9. And Rick Carlisle's going to have to call a timeout. Impressive offensive start for the Knicks.
Great job. They're at a nice pace right now. They're dictating the tempo. Doing a good job for the most part on the defensive end, and they are just red hot shooting the ball.
What do NBA players do in the offseason? They give back to the community. Chris Duhon of the New York Knicks stressed the importance of reading to children at the National Book Festival in Washington, D.C. Rudy Gay and Mike Conley of the Memphis Grizzlies work with young people, encouraging them to lead an active and healthy lifestyle. And I spent the day planting trees in my hometown with other caring volunteers at a Go Green community event. I'm Shane Battier of the Houston Rockets. The NBA, where caring happens.
This February, the biggest basketball event in the world is headed to the city of Phoenix. 2009 NBA All-Star Balloting presented by T-Mobile allows you to vote for your favorite NBA players. Log on to NBA.com and cast your vote. Also vote on your mobile phone at WAP.NBA.com or on your T-Mobile phone via T-Zones. Vote now and vote often, and you could win a trip for 2 to Phoenix in the NBA 2K9 sweepstakes. The 2009 NBA All-Star Game live from Phoenix, Arizona, February 15th, only on TNT.
Knicks have hit 7 of their first 8 from the field. They lead by 7. And they've also won 5 of the last 6 games off to a good start. Mike D'Antoni likes what he sees, but he also keeps everything into perspective despite the good start.
You know, they're just numbers. Obviously, we're starting pretty well. We need to improve a lot, especially on the defensive end. But, you know, it's just good to get guys. You can see more than the numbers you see in their faces that they're starting to believe and they're starting to come together. That's more important probably.
And you like that. He knows that they're starting to get it and starting to understand what he wants offensively, but he also knows there's been some stretches defensively where it's been really poor. They're still number 30 in the league in opponents' field goal percentage. But the spirit is what we've noticed, Kelly, is Green shot that won't go. It's just a different spirit right now. It's Howard on the second opportunity.
The spirit is there, Mike, and that's key, but he's right. I mean, offense can come and go on a nightly basis, so to speak, but you need to be consistent all the time at the defensive end, and the Knicks will get better.
And again, he knows the schedule, the teams they've played, and the teams have had injuries. Duhon tried to stuff it inside instead of got knocked out of bounds. That's why this week a good barometer, a game like today against Dallas, although 2-7, a playoff team and a desperate team. Kind of like the San Antonio game last week. Crawford knocks it down, falling down. He's 3 for 3. The Spurs were struggling. They needed to win desperately. Same thing with Dallas. Singleton will launch one. And good boxing out from Chandler.
No, but that's a good learning experience using the San Antonio game for the Dallas game this evening.
Randolph over Singleton. Oh, Randolph and Crawford off to great starts. They're a combined 7 for 7, and the Knicks are 9 of 10.
Look what he did there, Mike. Dampier goes out of the game. Singleton comes in. Where does he go? He goes down low post to take advantage of his skill there and his size.
Josh Howard gets a good look. Howard, part of the reason they lost 5 in a row is Howard did miss a couple of games. And he's their other all-star as Richardson hits a 3. Knicks perfect from downtown in 3 shots and 10 of 11 overall.
And the defense went underneath the screen there, and Howard got stuck, was a little late, and never really got out on Q, who knocks it down.
Gerald Green inside, and Singleton's fouled by Duhon. All counted. They call a continuation and a chance for a 3-point play.
What'd you think of that? I think everybody stopped playing, figuring there was a foul.
Everybody but Singleton.
Exactly. So smart play. Give him credit. Green with the drive and the dish. Duhon reaches in, and he didn't put the ball back down on the floor. So you got to give him credit there. I think it was the right call. Good call.
So he'll go to the line. Robinson and Lee come in. Duhon takes a seat along with Chandler. And here's James Singleton, 27-year-old in his 3rd year in the league. Played a couple of years with the Clippers, and as we mentioned, played in Spain last year. Won the championship for his team in Spain. Knicks by 10, just under 5.5 to play. David Lee, no hesitation at all. Misses that one. Nowitzki the rebound. He said one of the reasons, Kelly, he's been shooting better is because he's not hesitating. He's not going to overshoot, as Terry nearly lost it.
You can't be a good shooter, if you're hesitating, thinking about it all the time.
Dangerous outlet pass, nearly stolen by Kidd, who's 2nd in the league in steals. Crawford, not a good shot that time.
A little bit of a force, I agree.
Quick pace, which is what the Knicks like. The Mavericks used to like this pace, but not been their case. Kidd misses the layup. Rebound. Singleton had it. Taken away by Randolph.
Good hands and way to battle by Zach inside after Jay Kidd turned the corner. Looked like Nate was looking for help. He didn't get it.
That jumper won't go. The Knicks a little cold spell after not missing at all in the first 5 or 6 minutes. Josh Howard in and out.
Got to start looking to take the ball in the basket now. Early on, it's been a lot of jump shots for New York. Now they've got to try to find some seams to get to the basket or dump it off.
Randolph will try another 3. Puts it in. Zach Randolph 5 for 5 from the field, including 2 3-pointers.
Except for him. He just needs to keep shooting.
Again, though, they're excellent looks as Lee's called for the foul. Nowitzki smartly finishes, and he'll get a chance for a 3-point play.
That's what makes him so dangerous. His ability at 7 foot tall to put the ball on the floor, work the 2-man game, shoot from outside, and take people off the dribble. Strong move there. There's the contact, continuation, kiss it off the window. Count it for Dirk.
Nowitzki had one of his best summers, if you ask him. He finally got to play in the Olympic Games for Germany. And just remember seeing him walk out on the floor when they played the national anthem. One of his proudest moments. He had worked so hard past couple of off seasons to get them to qualify. As Crawford misses that one.
Well, that's big time whenever you get a chance to play for your country.
They didn't finish in the medal round, but that was secondary to Nowitzki just being there. Singleton showing some offense. Not that time, though. David Lee grabs another rebound. Nowitzki on Randolph. Randolph has the stroke. 6 for 6 to start. Unbelievable for Zach Randolph.
Got the stroke and the eye.
14 points already. We still have over 3 to play here in the period. Nowitzki answers right back. He's got 11.
You know, we said a tough matchup is Dirk Nowitzki, no matter who's on him. That time he takes Lee outside and shoots over the top.
Richardson way outside. David Lee tries to save it. Ball knocked loose. Robinson pass to Lee. He's fouled and one. What a hustle play from Nate Robinson. And Lee with a chance for a three-point play.
This is all David Lee, Mike. You can't coach this. This is either you have it or you don't. A force by Q. Watch the hustle by David Lee. No look over the head. And Nate comes up with it. Quick dish inside. Count the bucket. David Lee, an opportunity for 3 at the line.
He deserved the chance after the initial hustle play. Then Nate Robinson staying back. And those are the type of, when we talked earlier about this team playing with some spirit, there's your evidence right there.
How many times have we talked about the fact that you need to play hard? There's nights where you're not going to have it offensively and defensively, but you have to play hard because you're going to win 6 or 8 times a year just by playing harder than the other team.
Under 3 to play. Here in the first, a hot start to say the least for the Knicks. Terry inside, stripped, lost it out of bounds. Rick Carlisle upset. He felt there should have been a foul call. And we'll have a timeout. Knicks shooting 68% from the field. The Mavericks defense having their problems.
I'm happy to be here. I'm looking forward to playing in Boston, having fun, man. We need to establish who we are. We're learning some things, just very small things. Little small things like that add up. And that's big when you're trying to win a ring here. That's the motivation. We all are energetic about trying to be the best team we can be. It's what it is. We got to win. And we didn't do it tonight. You have to continue to keep your head up. Take it one game at a time. See it like every night I have a responsibility to stay physical, stay aggressive. I can't be as good as I am unless I help the group, the team, every day. We're not a flawless team. We're a team in progress. We have to come out here and play together. Tonight we played great basketball as a good team. You know, we're connected. We kept our composure. We made the sacrifices, and it's helping. It's working. It's working for us. And if we can get through this, then, you know, it's one more step toward the goal. Win the NBA championship. You know, it's for us to win, man. Just what we got to do to close this thing out. What you gonna say now? What can you say now?
There we go, guys. Let's go. Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Next. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you.
You want more to get J Kid or you want more to get Terry? I should stay with Jay, right?
You take Jay. Okay. Yeah.
We'll have Mike D'Antoni mic'd out throughout the game. And, you know, we talk about Nate Robinson and all his energy. D'Antoni has a lot of energy during the game. Very friendly with Violet Palmer there. But we'll see later if there's any controversial call.
Good stuff from Mike. You got to be friendly.
But he's got to love the start. Again, the tempo is exactly what he wants to see. You can almost feel. Now, Dallas has done a decent job, but you can almost feel that the tempo is just a little bit quick for them.
It is because of their size, but they also like to play that quick tempo, Mike, particularly a guy like Jason Kidd. So you got to be wary of him at all times. Try to take away the middle, but right now the Knicks are shooting outstanding.
J.J. Barea drives in, can't get it to go. Tipped by Singleton, and Nowitzki can't get it.
Got away with one there.
And Lee with his third rebound. Good spark off the bench from David Lee. Knicks by 11, 2.5 to play. In the first, Chandler back in. Randolph has been red hot, tries again, and again. 7 for 7 for Zach Randolph.
And you love the offense, too. That time they put him on the block and had a little pin down by Nate Robinson. Set the screen, pop him out, 15-footer, count it.
We've had some hot shooting from some Knicks recently. Wilson Chandler in Memphis, Nate Robinson as well. Jason Terry's jump shot won't go. Nowitzki, another offensive rebound. And the Mavericks will reset. Nowitzki. Rebound, Duhon.
Good defense from David Lee that time. Forced a difficult shot.
That's a three. Chandler, too strong. David Lee trying to hustle again. This time throws it to Nowitzki. Here comes Barea. Barea's drive won't go. Singleton right there to pick it up. Singleton very active. But Nate Robinson pushing, stripped. It's time to Howard. It's only the second turnover. Terry, and gets it to go.
There's that tempo we talked about. The Dallas Mavericks, they like to run as well. And Jason Terry and guys like Josh Howard, good athletes, and little Jose Barea in there as well. So they'll push it. Dirk can run the floor as well for a big guy.
Lee on the drive. Lee continues right-handed and able to get it to go using that other hand. He's ambidextrous.
Yeah, trying to get some help from his partner, Zach Randolph there. He was yelling at the referee and won.
On the drive, Howard draws the foul on Chandler. That will be his second. Josh Howard back to the line. Josh Howard had an interesting several months. A lot of different controversial things that he's gone through. He started off with that radio interview during the playoffs last year when he talked about marijuana use, saying that he had used it and other players had. Then he handed out party invitations after a Game 4 loss in the playoffs in the locker room that ticked off his fans. He misses that free throw. Then he also was clocked doing about 95 miles an hour in a car. And then that last thing in that homemade video where he talked about not participating in the national anthem. A lot of controversial stuff. And he apologized profusely for all of it. He knows he made a mistake. I've watched him over the years. He's a tough, emotional guy in the court. But seems like a good guy, Kelly. And he made some mistakes, and he apologized for it.
Yeah, he's got to make better decisions. He's got to have better people around him to help him with that because he is a great player.
Nate Robinson almost with a highlight putback off the first miss from Randolph, and there's Howard down the other end, and it's a 9-point game.
That's exactly what he does well, Mike. I mean, he is a tremendous athlete, tough guard because of the fact that he can slash, he can shoot the ball from outside. Needs to be a little more consistent from outside, but he's already been an all-star. Robinson misses the three, and here comes Howard. Howard, because he can be so good at both ends of the floor. Definitely a two-way player, no question about it. Offense and defense, and great athleticism. About a 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Barea on the drive, kicks it out. Brandon Bass, jump shot, won't go. David Lee, another rebound, tries to get it out, instead throws it to Bass. Bass gets off the shot and won't go. Ending a wild first quarter where Zach Randolph was red hot. The Knicks as a team shoot 60% from the field, but it was Randolph, 7 of 8, 16 points, and 6 rebounds. So the first quarter complete here at the Guard. Knicks trying to win on their home floor again. After one, it's 35-26.
Barkley, you're here to answer for possible violations. As an analyst for the NBA on TNT, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Yes, I'm 1,000% innocent.
Well, is that so? Upon being asked about the team defense of my beloved Dallas Mavericks, did you not say, and I quote, "My mother could score 30 points on those guys"?
No, I said my grandmother could score 30. My mother would drop 45 on them.
There'll be order. We'll have order here.
This summer, as part of the NBA's Basketball Without Borders program, Randy Foye of the Minnesota Timberwolves traveled to Turkey, where he coached and mentored young basketball players. Kyle Korver of the Utah Jazz went to India and made sure that the kids had a new, safe place to learn and play. And I joined other players to help build 3 new homes for families in need in South Africa. I'm Karan Butler of the Washington Wizards, the NBA, where caring happens.
launch of a new fan experience on NBA TV. Get all new live 24/7 access to the NBA. No other network gets you so close to the game. NBA TV, the game happens here. Get inside the game on NBA TV. All the best exclusive league access, plus the latest stats, scores, and coverage on NBA.com. NBA TV, the game happens here.
The plan that works. And by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com. Don't miss Knicks action at the Garden this season. Ticket plans now available. Full season subscription for $25 a seat a game to a special early season 4-game plan for $99. Visit nyknicks.com for more information. Inside pass, Chandler, second effort is good. The Knicks, who came in as the highest scoring team in the NBA, put up quite a bit in the opening period.
Right out of the quarter, nice play there, set up by David Lee's nifty pass inside.
Bass may have gotten away with a travel. Hard drive won't go. Rebound gets it back. Bass back up and jams it in.
Now he's a spark plug off the bench for Rick Carlisle. Strong player inside, really attacks the rim. Good offensive rebounder, and showed it there.
Duhon had 4 assists in the first quarter. 4 assists, just 1 turnover. Try a 3. That's his first shot. Won't go. Howard the rebound. And a foul. Nate Robinson shrubs a little arm on the way up to 4.
A little extracurricular activity there away from the ball. Nate doesn't seem to be too pleased with it.
We talk about he's come such a long way. He has to stay away from the constant talking with the officials and worrying about calls.
Or the other players, for that fact.
Yep. There's Bass. Bass on the drive. Line drive shot. Singleton won't go, and a loose ball foul is going to go against Brandon Bass. So he picks up his first.
You got to get a body on him. He's a beast down there. He knows he's not going to be in there for long minutes, so he's going to get in there and rebound and play defense and come up with some cheap baskets while he's in there.
For the Mavericks, this is the first of a 3-game trip. They'll play in Charlotte Tuesday and then in Houston on Wednesday. They're close at home. Their only 2 victories have been on the road. Nice pass, David Lee to Marty Collins. Gathers himself and puts it in. Pretty look from Lee.
That's 2 nice assists so far from David in the early going in the second period.
Kelly, 13 assists on the 17 field goals.
Oh yeah, knockdown shots, but good spacing, and they're getting good looks, and that's accounting for those assists.
Correa telling Bass to come set a screen. Now steps back. Can't get it to go. David Lee, who was playing superbly off the bench. 5 points, 5 rebounds, and a couple of assists.
And right now, he is their rebounder. Nick's got to help him out, but he's doing the job right now, cleaning the glass.
Chandler rushed it a bit. He had Berea on him. Knicks lead by 11. Howard can't get it to go and knocks it out of bounds. Mavs shooting just 38%, so their struggles from the field continue. Knicks at 57%. David Lee, high arcing shot.
That may have been a little bit out of his range. I'd like to see him more at that elbow 15 feet away.
Pass inside, misses the layup. Nearly gets it back as Duhon comes up with the ball. Ahead to Marty Collins getting some first half action. Collins back to Duhon. Extra pass. Robinson wide open for 3. Won't go. Knicks now 4 of 9 from downtown. They've missed their last 5.
Still like the pass, though. They're thinking about making the extra pass, and that's good.
And again, those open looks, that's exactly what you want. Howard draws the foul. Chandler picks up his 3rd. They're calling this one a little tight at both ends. Both teams have argued about some little ticky fouls.
Yeah, but players adjust to it, whatever it is, whether they like it or don't like it, they will adjust to it, and they have to.
So Howard back to the line. Mavs just 2 of 6 from the line. He hits the first. Tomorrow night on MSG, Rangers and the Ottawa Senators here at the Garden. Get inside access starting with New York Lottery Rangers game night at 6:30. That's Rangers hockey tomorrow night on MSG. Chandler will sit down with the 3 fouls. Zach Randolph back in.
Notice how the game got a lot smaller since the start of the game.
Collins gets it back. Fancy play. Shot won't go as Josh Howard called for the foul. Rick Carlisle saying that better not be in the act of shooting, and it's not going to be. Knicks will take it out.
Get a look at it from up top. Nice view there. Foot locker above the glass look, and Knicks will have it side out after the foul.
Second team foul on the Mavericks. David Lee spinning, lost it. Duhon on the drive. Nice move from Duhon for his first field goal.
Knicks just open up the floor. Little kick out to Duhon, and he takes it through the lane.
And Terry shoots over his buddy Robinson. You've got three of Seattle's finest in this one with Crawford, Robinson, and Terry. They're all good buddies. Nice pass. Back to Lee and the slam. Superb ball movement. Duhon to Robinson to Lee.
That's as good as it gets passing-wise. Spectacular passing, particularly the last one from Nate.
And it gets a timeout for Dallas, and some of the fans on their feet. Just great teamwork, and the Knicks back up by 11.
Now this is what you come for, to watch play like this. Duhon, the hard dribble, and how about behind the back? Nate to Lee. Knicks up.
What do NBA players do in the offseason? They give back to the community. Chris Duhon of the New York Knicks stressed the importance of reading to children at the National Book Festival in Washington, D.C. Rudy Gay and Mike Conley of the Memphis Grizzlies work with young people, encouraging them to lead an active and healthy lifestyle. And I spent the day planting trees in my hometown with other caring volunteers at a Go Green community event. I'm Shane Battier of the Houston Rockets. The NBA, where caring happens.
Clones versus droids. Jedi versus Sith. Good versus evil.
I will deal with the Jedi myself.
And a few laughs in between. You've just taken your first step into a larger world. Star Wars, The Clone Wars. A new adventure this Friday at 9 p.m. Their galaxy isn't far, far away anymore.
We're clear.
Only on Cartoon Network.
Launch of a new fan experience on NBA TV. Get all new live 24/7 access to the NBA. No other network gets you so close to the game. NBA TV, the game happens here.
Knicks basketball brought to you by Budweiser, who thanks you for being a designated driver. Well, what do you do after you win a big football game? You come to the Garden. Let's go to Al Troutwick.
Yes, Mike, even on a day you win a big football game. This is Brandon Jacobs with son Braden. You took on one of the best run defenses today, and single-handedly and with your team, you got the job done. You must have looked at it as a personal challenge to beat that Ravens D today.
Well, running the rock is what we do. You know, we got three good running backs, and we got a great offensive line, great coaching staff. That's going to put us in places that we need to be in and get us in the right situation. We got a good quarterback that know how to manage the game. Yes, it was a tough defense we played against today, but I don't think a lot of people can stop us if we don't want to be stopped.
What is it like to be tackled by Ray Lewis?
I don't think I was tackled by him, but, you know, Ray is a good guy. He's a real competitive man, got a great competitive edge, and, you know, he's a solid football player.
Well, let me amend the question. What is it like to run by Ray Lewis?
That feels good. It feels good to go by and run by their defense, period, because then nobody had did it all year long.
All right, your food is here. Thanks a lot, Brandon.
Thank you.
Mike.
Oh, what a great line. What does it feel to be tackled? I don't know. He didn't tackle me.
We're going to have to check to see if Ray even played in the game. Good stuff, Al.
So Big Blue wins again. Now he's watching the orange and the blue with his little guy.
And I think that little guy, if you look at Dad, he's going to be a pretty big guy.
Meanwhile, Bass misses the jam, but got hit.
And he got away with a walk, too. Thought he shuffled his feet, but he's now at the line for a pair.
But you were talking about him earlier. I like this kid, the way he started off. He was a second-round pick, went to LSU for a couple of years, second-round pick of the Hornets. Played a little bit, but not that much because they just had a lot of forwards there. But He learned a lot, he said, from P.J. Brown, who was his teammate there. Really taught him about professionalism, staying ready. Had a chance to sign with a bunch of teams, signed with Dallas as a free agent, and he's become a big part of the rotation.
He's become an NBA player, is what he's become, and a lot probably has to do with the development under P.J. Brown. You learn all that stuff that he talked about. You know, that's how you get better. Not only you have to do it on the court, you have to do it off the court as well.
Duhon launches a three. That's good. Knicks now 6 of 11 from downtown. And this is their largest lead of the first half. All right, who was the veteran when you first came into the league that you really have to give credit to?
I mean, I had guys. I mean, I followed a lot of guys that even weren't on my team, but the guys on my team were guys like John Long and Kent Benson and Terry Tyler and people like that had been around, and they were still kind of young at the time as well.
That last shot, by the way, was a two-pointer. Duhon to Lee once again. David Lee, what a spark off the bench. He's got 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists.
I will have to tell you that I was a huge Dr. J fan, and I learned a lot from him even in that first year because he was very complimentary towards me, and I got to know him over the course of my career.
What a thrill that must have been.
Absolutely.
Jason Kidd knocks down the shot.
You haven't heard much from Jay Kidd, and boy, if there's ever one guy that likes playing in this arena, it's Jason Kidd.
Well, with a member of the New Jersey Nets, he just dominated the Knicks. They were, 23-4. That included the 4-game sweep in the playoffs against the Knicks when he was a member of the New Jersey Nets.
Well, he likes the bright lights.
Call for travel. First, big story this week was that the Knicks are 3 games over 500. It's the first time they have 3 games over 500 in 4 years. The last time, when they were 16-13, that was the day Stephon Marbury said he was the best point guard in the NBA. They played the Nets game. As Nowitzki knocks it down, Kidd just took it to the Knicks and continued to dominate them over the next couple of seasons.
Yeah, he had a little offering, I think, for that, and that just shows you what type of competitor that Jason Kidd is and has been over the course of his career.
And he also had a lot better teammates. As Randolph misfires. So despite all the great shooting, the Knicks lead is down to 10 with 5.5 to go here in the second. Well, the problem, Dallas only 1 turnover. That's certainly helping them as Bass knocks it down, and it's back to single digits after this 7-0 run.
And he's giving them energy. We talked about Bass coming off the bench and what he does for them, and he's pretty much kept them in this ball game with his hustle, rebounding, and a couple of buckets as well.
Nate Robinson has Nowitzki on him. Lee is being guarded by Antoine Wright. David Lee spinning, double team, forces trouble with the right hand. Randolph the rebound. Kicks it inside to Lee. Lee gathers himself, and he draws the foul. Good work from the big men for the Knicks. Bass and Randolph exchanging unpleasantries. Leon Wood tells him to knock it off, and we'll have a timeout. 5:04 remaining. David Lee will shoot free throws when we come back.
This February, the biggest basketball event in the world is headed to the city of Phoenix. 2009 NBA All-Star Balloting presented by T-Mobile allows you to vote for your favorite NBA players. Log on to NBA.com and cast your vote. Also vote on your mobile phone at WAP.NBA.com or on your T-Mobile phone via T-Zones. Vote now and vote often, and you could win a trip for 2 to Phoenix in the NBA 2K9 sweepstakes. The 2009 NBA All-Star Game live from Phoenix, Arizona, February 15th, only on TNT.
Zach Randolph, 16 points in the first quarter. Also had the big game the other night. Prior to Randolph, who was the last Knick to have 29 points and at least 19 rebounds in a game. That's our Bacardi trivia question. We'll have the answer in a little bit. I know some guys have had 20 rebounds recently. Camby's had some 20 rebound games. Clarence Weatherspoon had a 20 rebound game.
Not easy to do.
I don't think either one of them had the 29 points in that game.
I doubt it.
We may have to go back a little ways.
Maybe more than a little.
That number 33 guy. As Nowitzki coming out. Nowitzki having a strong game. 15 points, 5 boards. That last foul was on Antoine Wright. So David Lee will go to the line. Lee was mad at himself. Although, obviously he's been playing well, but his free throw shooting is down a bit. Only 67%. He is so improved on his free throw shooting from that first year. As he knocks that one down. We'll talk about this a lot. First year shot 58%. Since then he's been over 80. A slow start this year from the line.
No, the Knicks as a team, though, shooting better as David misses the second. But, it's going to be important to them because they've got to find ways not only to get to the line, but to make them as well.
Antoine Wright, another player obtained in that Jason Kidd deal. Jason Terry left open, can't get it to go. And Randolph with his 9th rebound. Randolph coming into the game, 3rd in the NBA in rebounding at over 12 per game. Right out there for some defense on Crawford. Randolph had a notion about a 3. Instead, he's fouled by Bass.
Will they give him 2?
I don't think so. No, they do. That's the 14th foul.
No continuation there because he did not pick up the basketball when he heard the whistle. He was about to pass it right here, and he shot it to the basket.
Smart heard the whistle and made the shooting motion. Randolph's first free throws. Knicks have missed a couple now. Randolph from the line so far this season at 82%.
Fell back a little on that first one.
Knicks back up by 10 with just under 4.5 remaining here in the second, along with Kelly Tripucka and Al Troutwig, Mike Breen on hand. As the Knicks and the Mavericks. Knicks playing a lot of West Coast teams early. Last year they won 3 games total against Western Conference teams. Total, as Nowitzki able to put it in. This year they've already won 3 games. Granted, not against the elite. But as we said earlier, for the Knicks, just to get that victory against anyone, so important early in the season. Duhon. Up top to Crawford. Crawford feels the bump, puts it up, shot won't go. Nowitzki another board.
A little off balance there, Jamal. Got to go straight up with it.
And a foul on the entry pass. Offensive foul. They call Bass for pushing off.
And Zach Randolph knew it right away because when he heard the whistle, he said thank you, anticipating that he was going to get the call, and he did.
Rick Carlisle gets Singleton to come back in as Bass picks up his 3rd.
They're trying to get a little more physical with Zach Randolph, and he and Brandon Bass are really going at it at both ends of the floor. That time Bass with the offensive foul.
So Singleton back in. That's only the 2nd turnover for Dallas. Knicks, meanwhile, have done a good job. Only 5 turnovers.
Knicks will be happy to see him come out of the lineup. Brandon Bass sits with 3.
Knicks right now have Robinson and Duhon and Crawford, the 3 guards, plus Lee and Randolph. Small lineup, night in and night out for Mike D'Antoni. Robinson on the jumper. Able to get it to go. Nate Robinson, 5 points, 4 assists off the bench.
You don't know how difficult that type of shot is, Mike, because when you're coming at full speed like Nate does, to pull up and then float towards the basket, you start at like 15 feet and end up at about 12. That's hard.
Nowitzki fouled as Duhon raises his hand. Nowitzki to the line. Duhon second. A little bit of a limp there for Nowitzki. Every year it seems to, the ankles, because for a big guy comes down, he lands on somebody else's foot. He's had ankle injury here or there.
Wear and tear.
Although last year, he's the first one. Want to do a reminder before we get back to that, Knicks fans. Kids Day is Saturday, November 22nd. Next Saturday, Knicks and the Wizards. Kids Day Fan Fest starts at 5:30 at the MSG Expo Center. We'll feature NBA inflatables, boardwalk games, face painting, much more. Visit nyknicks.com for more info. Face painting, Kel.
That's a big day for the kids, let me tell you. Maybe for the parents as well.
Robinson picks it out. Bad pass stolen by Howard. Here comes Kidd. Kidd, nice ball fake. Misses the layup, but Singleton right there to clean it up.
Unfortunate. Kidd doesn't miss many of those, but the reason for that turnover, Nate got caught in the air. You learn from an early age on, never jump to make a pass.
And it's a 6-point game, despite all the hot shooting early and the great start. Mavs hanging around and cut it back. Randolph shot blocked, was back up, blocked again. Second, third effort, and Randolph gives the Knicks an 8-point lead.
The ball just finds him. As I say, he's such long arms and great hands. Great effort around the basket.
Second straight, he's got that double WC in the first half alone. Wow, big numbers again for Randolph. Howard with a hand in his face, can't get it to go. And Robinson got in the way of Lee.
Yeah, but they're lucky because the ball went off the rim. They fought each other for it. They'll still maintain possession.
So the Knicks will have it when we come back. Continue to shoot well, 56% from the field.
Happy to be here. I'm looking forward to playing in Boston, having fun, man. We need to establish who we are. We're learning some things, just very small things. Little small things like that add up. And that's big when you're trying to win a ring here. That's the motivation. We all are energetic about trying to be the best team we can be. It's what it is. We got to win. And we didn't do it tonight. You have to continue to keep your head up. Take it one game at a time. See it like every night I have a responsibility to stay physical, stay aggressive. I can't be as good as I am unless I help the group, the team, every day. We're not a flawless team. We're a team in progress. We have to come out here and play together. Tonight we played great basketball as a good team. You know, we're connected. We kept our composure. We made the sacrifices, and it's helping. It's working. It's working for us. And if we can get through this, then it's one more step toward the goal. Win the NBA championship. It's for us to win, man. Just what we got to do to close this thing out. What's he gonna say now? What can you say now?
Inside the Game on NBA TV. All the best exclusive league access, plus the latest stats, scores, and coverage on NBA.com. NBA TV, the game happens here.
56-48, Knicks lead by 8. Let's answer our Bacardi trivia question prior to Zach, who was the last Knick to have 29 and at least 19 rebounds in a game. Kurt Thomas back in 2002. Thomas, who played against the Knicks last week, now with San Antonio. And here was the game. We always kid Thomas about being such a great scorer in college, led the nation in scoring and rebounding. And even though he's known for defense and for rebounding in the NBA, can always hit that 15-footer.
With consistency, but I would not surprised that came to fruition as far as who it was, because you just mentioned it. The guy led the nation in scoring and rebounding in college. Sure, he can do it. Probably doesn't do it now.
Well, Zach Randolph on pace for 29-20. Robinson's drive won't go. Randolph draws the foul. Randolph has 19 and 11 right now, and a chance to add that with 2:17 remaining here in the second.
He's having most people's week in one half.
And again, it's certainly to his advantage against some matchups. For example, the start with Dampier, as you pointed out at the beginning. But you got to look at the other end. Both Randolph and David Lee, and Chandler as well. Not as much Chandler maybe. But they're playing against guys so much bigger than them night in and night out. It can wear you down. But they have held up very well, obviously still early in the season.
Yeah, there's no question that they have to do certain things in order to have a favorable matchup. When they get those types of things on paper don't look good for them. But they've survived thus far in the early going.
Bad pass from Kidd. Crawford drives, stripped by Kidd. Oh, what a play from Jason Kidd. Here's Nowitzki. And slams it in down the other end. Robinson tried to hustle and distract him.
Yeah, Jamal might have got hit on that. It was a great play by Kidd. Jamal looking for a call, but he didn't get it.
Nate Robinson rushed that one and then commits the foul. And not a smart foul because they're in the penalty and a technical foul called on Nate Robinson. He's better be careful. And we talked about it earlier. He needs to improve that relationship.
I think he really has lost his composure there. No question. We really haven't seen that this year from Nate. But there's one reason why he has played so well. It's because of how he's handled things on the court much better. And he's just played basketball.
Yeah, now you're going to put Nowitzki in the line. Now we keep talking about the first half for Zach Randolph. How about Nowitzki? 21-9. And has a chance to add 3 more here. So now 22 points for Nowitzki. And the Mavs within 7.
He got off to that hot start. Knocked down, I believe, his first 3 or so. And yeah, he's just a difficult guard because of that size and ability to put it on the floor. And he goes to the line and makes 90%. That's what I love about him.
One of the most unique players when you consider that size. Knocks down another. By the way, during the last time out, what an ovation for Magic Johnson. They put his face on the big screen. And the crowd started to build and build. And they wouldn't stop till he stood up. When he stood up, a thunderous ovation.
Yeah, Magic and I, we go back to high school together. We came out the same year. Graduated high school the same year, played in all-star games and the such. So I've known him for a long time. Good to see him.
Well, we'll hear from him at halftime. He'll be on Jill Martin's Give Me a Minute. Duhon knocks down a 3. Chris Duhon hasn't shot much, but he's 3 for 4. And the Knicks back up by 7.
Mike, an important 3, too, particularly after that miscommunication. Didn't handle that fast break by Jamal Crawford, and the Mavericks got an easy 2. That was to stave off the Mavs for a second here.
Knicks 6 of 11 from downtown. Howard, Singleton, Nowitzki. And foul from behind is Nate Robinson. Knicks interior defense did not rotate quick enough there.
Solid passing, though, from the Mavericks. Good ball movement. Going to see his interior pass, a little shovel pass underneath, and there's the great hustle from Nate Robinson. Doesn't like the call, but he prevented a layup by Nowitzki. He pretty much is almost automatic from the line.
You see Marty Collins will come in because Robinson picks up his 3rd. Nowitzki living at the line now, 7 for 7. Nowitzki, in 1 year as Robinson sits, shooting 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line. And you think about it, a 7-footer doing that.
You know, that's what he came into the league as, and he's even improved on those numbers. He arguably could be the best shooter in the league.
Has not shot the ball well so far this season, but he is tonight. Randolph shoots over Nowitzki. Shot won't go. Singleton the rebound. Final minute, and what was a 15-point lead has been cut to 5. Howard on Crawford. Spinning, stolen by Collins. Howard gets it back and lays it in.
Tough luck there. Good defense from the Knicks, but unfortunately, it went right back to Howard.
A strong second period here from Dallas, and Howard gets overly aggressive. And they're in a penalty, so Crawford will shoot his first free throws of the night. Crawford 7 points, couple of assists. What's been nice about Crawford the last couple of games, obviously he's been scoring, but he also has 15 assists in the last 2 games coming into tonight. As we mentioned, Joe Martin will chat with Magic Johnson on Give Me a Minute. And then first half highlights. Crawford hits a pair. Free throws have been a huge factor for Dallas. They've shot 17 to the Knicks 9. And they made 12 of those 17, but Nowitzki has been perfect from the line.
I was going to say, most of that thanks to Dirk Nowitzki.
David Lee trying to guard Nowitzki.
Like to get a stop and have an opportunity down at the other end.
On the drive, Nowitzki. Tough shot, won't go. Lee pulls down the rebound. Nice shuffle pass to Duhon. Terrific half for Lee.
They get one end of it. Now let's see if they can connect on the offensive end.
Shot clock turned off. Crawford puts it up. Got hit. Howard very upset as he picks up his 3rd, and Crawford will go to the line for 2.
Well, Jamal has a habit of trying to finish quarters on his own and look for the high screen from David Lee. And got a nice little screen here. Howard fights over as Jamal goes up. You see a little contact there, I thought, on the elbow. Just a tad, but Howard did not believe it.
They've called that the whole way here in the first half. They've called this game fairly tight.
Yeah. I look at the ball, when a play like that happens, to see if it gets to the rim. It looked like his shot died there, so that leads me to believe that there was some contact.
Carlisle will call a 22nd timeout. Here's Carlisle in his first year. Of course, he's been a head coach with Detroit, had a couple of terrific years there. He was the head coach of Indiana that first year with the Pacers. They won 61 games, but then the second year was the brawl at the Palace, and that changed the whole dynamics of that organization. Last year worked at ESPN, and now back coaching. So taking over a guy like Avery Johnson, who's so successful, came close to a championship. Carlisle, a veteran, he's done an excellent job wherever he's been.
Yeah, and you go back to what the Dallas Mavericks have been through, I should say. When I talked about in the open, a little bit of mental fatigue and what they've had to endure, I guess, they're hearing it all the time. They didn't beat the Miami Heat. You lost to the Golden State Warriors. You got manhandled by New Orleans last year.
They've had 3 straight years where the season ended so bitterly.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can stay with players. You can say it's a long time ago, but 3 straight years, bitter losses to end the season. As Crawford hits the second.
Well, the players can probably get through it, but they hear it all the time from the outside.
Singleton throws. Green will have it. Green's going to try and get off the 3. Gets it to Nowitzki. Throws it up. And he puts it in at the buzzer. The call on the court. Violet Palmer said yes, but they will review it. As Dirk Nowitzki, if that one counts, he'll finish the half with 29 points.
How does no one have Dirk Nowitzki? He was wide open calling for the ball when they crossed half court.
A poor defensive sequence for the Knicks. So Joe DeRosa getting his officials. He's the crew chief. They'll look at the replay.
I'm not sure he got it off.
But what a shooting half for Dirk Nowitzki. No, they're going to wave that off. They will negate that. It will not count.
Agreed.
So DeRosa will look at it. And right now, after a big first half, Zach Randolph's without Troutman.
Okay, Mike, Zach, you were pretty sure that didn't count, right?
No, that didn't count. He had the ball in his hand when the light went off.
Well, here you are above 60 points again with this offense, and it feels to me like you could have had even more points.
Yeah, we got a little slow towards the end of the half, but we moving the ball, we getting good shots, and we playing good. We just got to get defensive stops.
Play so active lately. Are you getting tired at all?
No, I feel good out there. Just working hard. Crashing the boards and just playing hard, just working together.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks.
Back to you, Mike.
All right, Al. They've officially said no basket, and that's the right call. You could clearly see it on the replay. Nowitzki did a great job. And the Knicks hold on. Nowitzki did have 26. As we mentioned, Zach Randolph with 20. Some terrific individual performances. Halftime here at the Garden. Knicks leading the Mavericks by 7.
What do NBA players do in the offseason? They give back to the community. Chris Duhon of the New York Knicks stressed the importance of reading to children at the National Book Festival in Washington, D.C. Rudy Gay and Mike Conley of the Memphis Grizzlies work with young people, encouraging them to lead an active and healthy lifestyle. And I spent the day planting trees in my hometown with other caring volunteers at a Go Green community event. I'm Shane Battier of the Houston Rockets. The NBA, where caring happens.
This summer, as part of the NBA's Basketball Without Borders program, Randy Foye of the Minnesota Timberwolves traveled to Turkey, where he coached and mentored young basketball players. Kyle Korver of the Utah Jazz went to India and made sure that the kids had a new, safe place to learn and play. And I joined other players to help build 3 new homes for families in need in South Africa. I'm Karan Butler of the Washington Wizards, the NBA, where caring happens.
Clones versus droids. Jedi versus Sith. Good versus evil.
I will deal with the Jedi myself.
And a few laughs in between. You've just taken your first step into a larger world. Star Wars, The Clone Wars. A new adventure this Friday at 9 p.m. Their galaxy isn't far, far away anymore.
We're clear.
Only on Cartoon Network.
This copyrighted telecast of the NBA may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise used without the written consent of the NBA. Log on to NBA.com immediately following the game for live press conferences and video highlights.
The Knicks with a pile of points again. Halftime, 64-57. Al Trautwig along with Kelly Tripucka. 17 assists on 25 hoops. That tells me off the stat sheet that the Knicks are doing a good job moving the ball.
Al, the first half was marked by good ball movement, passing, and hustle. The Knicks had all those ingredients in the first half. Great execution, getting the ball down the floor off the glass. Knicks getting opportunities for open looks. Quentin Richardson airballed that one. But how about the hustle from David Lee? And then finding Nate Robinson back to David Lee. He gets the bucket. Knicks shooting the ball extremely well, but all set up on the passing on the interior. David Lee doing a nice job in the post, finding an open man. Chris Duhon driving the lane. Nice dish off to Nate. Back to David Lee. Another bucket for New York. And then they continue that onslaught inside. It's all predicated on penetration, finding the open man. The Knicks continue to find open people.
64-57 at halftime. Back for the second half after this.
Happy to be here. I'm looking forward to playing in Boston, having fun, man. We need to establish who we are. We're learning some things, just very small things. Little small things like that add up. And that's big when you're trying to win a ring here. That's the motivation. We all are energetic about trying to be the best team we can be. It's what it is. We got to win. And we didn't do it tonight. You have to continue to keep your head up. Take it one game at a time. See it like every night I have a responsibility to stay physical, stay aggressive. I can't be as good as I am unless I help the group, the team, every day. We're not a flawless team. We're a team in progress. We have to come out here and play together. Tonight we played great basketball as a good team. You know, we're connected. We kept our composure. We made the sacrifices, and it's helping. It's working. It's working for us. And if we can get through this, then it's one more step toward the goal. Win the NBA championship. It's for us to win, man. Just what we got to do to close this thing out. What you gonna say now? What can you say now?
This February, the biggest basketball event in the world is headed to the city of Phoenix. 2009 NBA All-Star Balloting presented by T-Mobile allows you to vote for your favorite NBA players. Log on to NBA.com and cast your vote. Also vote on your mobile phone at WAP.NBA.com or on your T-Mobile phone via T-Zones. Vote now and vote often, and you could win a trip for two to Phoenix in the NBA 2K9 sweepstakes. The 2009 NBA All-Star Game live from Phoenix, Arizona, February 15th, only on TNT.
This is some game. The Lakers are mounting a furious comeback.
Here we go, fourth quarter. He's watching the clock. You need a score. He's done it all tonight. Oh, what a move.
Oh, the crowd is chanting, Kobe, Kobe, Kobe.
He shakes free. He pulls up with the man in his face. Off balance.
Oh, what a shot by Kobe Bryant. 43 points on the night.
See it. Get it. Experience it. The game happens here.
I have to make sure that we do the easy things. We did a couple of things. We got off a rhythm a little bit, tried a couple of harder things, and had a few interceptions. But on the other end, though, we're going to have to get into Dirk a little bit and try to slow him down some.
Do you think this team learned a little bit about what it's going to take in the second half to close this game out in the last few minutes of the first half?
Well, maybe, but every game's different, every quarter's different. So you got to play each one. This team is in the process of learning, so we'll just wait and see.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
And there are the numbers. Terrific shooting of free throws. A little in favor of Dallas. What overall you take away from the first half, Kelly?
I think the fact that it was a relatively clean game. You look at the turnovers there. Dallas only 3. The Knicks with only 7 turnovers. So the Knicks out early with hot shooting. The difference for Dallas, they didn't play with a lot of emotion. That's been one of the problems that they've had. Dirk Nowitzki took care of all that. He had a monster first half with 26 and 9.
So Randolph, first Knicks since 95. It's number 33, had 8 straight double-doubles. And he does it again in the first half for the second straight game. Knicks led by as many as 15. The Mavs came back. Dangerous pass by Duhon and a steal.
Good anticipation there from Jason Terry.
Boy, Nowitzki just, no matter who's guarding him, you get an open look. Chandler had it, lost it. Ball picked up, taken by Duhon. Nice hustle, but then he lost it to Terry.
A lot of control to start the third quarter.
Kid on the drive, gets it inside. Singleton puts it in. And, you know, you said this at the very top, that Eric Dampier wasn't going to be able to play because he can't guard Randolph. So Rick Carlisle adjusting starts Singleton in the second half. You haven't seen Sagana Jop either because he's no one to match up with him either.
You're not going to see either one of them. I'd be shocked.
Another nice steal from Jason Kidd. Pass ahead to Howard. Lost it. Got it back. Nowitzki against Chandler.
Going to have to try to take the ball out of his hands.
Kidd kicks it back out to Terry. Good open look for Jason Terry. That goes, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point game.
Now, a sloppy start, as I said, but great vision there from Jason Kidd. He was underneath the basket. He didn't even see Terry. He just felt that he was there.
Kidd with 6 assists. Randolph kicks it back out. Duhon, wide open three. Won't go. Randolph, another rebound. Back up. Draws the foul. He just has like magnets on his hands. Such a good rebounder. We say it over and over again. For a guy that can't jump, it's amazing how many rebounds he gets.
Oh, it's true. You look, there have been some great rebounders over the course of NBA history that you would say aren't great jumpers, but that's not what rebounding is all about. It's all about anticipation, where the ball comes off, and then going to get it. And Zach Randolph does that along with some long arms and great hands.
You brought up the Moses Malone comparison. Same thing. Moses was not a big jumper, but I mean, just what a phenomenal rebounder.
Yeah, and a guy I played with, Bill Lambier, he couldn't jump over the sheet of paper that the stats are on. You know, but he knew how to use his body, and he knew where the ball came off. He anticipated, and that's how you rebound. You get most rebounds below the rim, Mike, as well.
In on the drive. Here's Terry. Terry gets into the paint. Thought they were going to come on him, and instead, nice move from Jason Terry. 9 points for Terry. Crawford, a little shake and bake move. Nice shot from Crawford. He's in double figures.
They needed that because the Mavs have put a quick 7 on the board here to start the third quarter. Things tightening up just a little bit.
Mavericks trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. As Nowitzki blocked, but a foul. Crawford and Randolph in the vicinity. They're going to call it on Crawford. That'll be his first.
Now, when you allow Dirk Nowitzki to step in the lane and get that good a position, he initiates the contact, actually, because he knew he was going to get hit on the way up for that attempt. He's back at the line where he's been perfect thus far, 8 for 8.
Nowitzki, 30 years old now. And this is his 11th year in the league. Remember that first year, he didn't play that well. Don Nelson was taking a lot of grief. But it's turned into one of the premier players and one of the best shooting big men this game has ever seen.
I couldn't agree more with him. I remember seeing him as a high schooler, like a 17, 18-year-old kid. I thought he was going to be pretty good back then.
Richardson misfires. And the Knicks lead is just 2. They've led almost the entire way. Nowitzki gets that extra step. Randolph gets his 13th rebound.
I call that the European step because you're allowed about 4 or 5 steps over there.
Crawford hits a 3. Jamal Crawford from downtown. He's got 16.
And he was hot early in the game, if you remember. Shot it very well and then didn't hear too much from him. So they could use some of his services here in the third.
Hit his first 3, missed his next 4. Now he's hit back-to-back shots. Shot clock down to 8. On the drive is Terry. And that's one of those, as Terry gets a little tap on the head from Randolph, where you don't mind that foul. You want a guy to think twice when he's going to drive and just not go uncontested to the basket.
There's no question, Mike, that the fact that Jason Terry knew he was going to get hit on this as well. He goes into the defense expecting contact. And, of course, if you're Zach Randolph, as you mentioned, you don't want to give him a layup or a 3-point play. You got to make sure you put him on his butt. But you do it with the fact that he doesn't get that shot off or an attempt to make it.
Jason Terry now in his 10th year in the league. Very durable player. He's only missed 12 games in his first 9 years. Always shoots a high percentage. Good free throw shooter.
What a reprieve he got when he used to play with Atlanta and they were going nowhere. It really ignited his career once again.
Again, magnet hands grabs that one. Inside Duhon, pass to Chandler. Layup is good. Excellent ball movement. Duhon, the quick release to Chandler.
I don't think that nickname will stick, but I know where you're coming from.
The nickname won't stick, but the ball sticks to his hand.
Oh, it does. I tell you, he's just one of those guys. The ball finds him or he finds the ball.
Howard, quick shot. Chandler rips it down. Knicks lead by 6. Still early here in the third. Quentin Richardson on the drive. Reverse dunk. Oh, Quentin Richardson throws it down. We haven't seen that from him in his tenure with the Knicks, mainly because of injuries, but he gets his teammates up off the bench.
His back must be feeling pretty good. You can almost sense that once the ball got to him in the corner, he was going to do something special with it.
And the lead back up to 8, 7 for Richardson.
Good defense from Chandler there.
Jason Kidd can't connect. Randolph reels in another, his 15th rebound of the game, and we still have 20 minutes to play.
A rebounding machine, Zach Randolph.
Crawford. Nice play from Howard to block the shot.
Had plenty of time on the shot clock.
Randolph. And Nowitzki the rebound. Nowitzki with a double-double. Jason Kidd kicks it out to Howard. Now Randolph picks him up on the switch. Howard on the drive. Randolph does not like the call. That's his third.
Quentin Richardson a moment ago. The pass ahead. How about this underneath? Flush. And Quentin Richardson loving everything about this over Nowitzki. That might be better than the jam.
Non-stop entertainment, whether he's on the floor or off, as Howard knocks down the first free throw. Howard with 14. Robinson in the first half, 5 points, 4 assists. Couple of free throws good for Dallas. 6-point game.
Now Zach Randolph has to be careful with his foul situation.
Duhon back to Chandler. Chandler a good open look. And Chandler showing his jump shot. He's got 8.
He could really help the Knicks cause here, getting going offensively. As again, Dirk Nowitzki guarding him. He needs to find some open spaces.
Knicks shooting 53% from the field. They have 7 3-pointers.
Dallas likes to run that high screen and roll with Nowitzki.
Terry won't go. Chandler got a hand in the face. And Dallas has missed their last 5 shots. Crawford on the drive. Tough shot. Again, that one not a good one. Howard gets his own rebound and can't get it to go. Tipped in nicely by Singleton.
Yeah, too much standing around there, not going after the rebound, and Singletary right there.
6-point lead.
Singleton, excuse me.
And Crawford, offensive foul. Terry did an acting job, but still Crawford ran into him, knocked him to the ground, and he picks up his second personal. Turnovers are helping keep Dallas in the game. Knicks have 11. Dallas with only 3.
4 in this quarter for New York.
There's Terry, lost it. Chandler couldn't get to it. And Nowitzki's jump shot off the mark. Richardson the rebound. Bad outlet pass stolen by Terry.
He walked.
It certainly looked like it. Howard on the jump shot. Nowitzki chips it in, and it's a 4-point game again.
Now, right now they're forcing their will on the offensive glass. That size is taking over right now for Dallas.
The 12 turnovers by the Knicks have led to 17 Maverick points. They've been able to convert on the miscues. Chandler again comes out, knocks it down. 10 points for Chandler.
Now, he could be important offensively for New York while they're struggling a little bit here.
Knicks packing it in. Nowitzki posting up Chandler. Cross the lane, flips it up, won't go. Randolph another rebound. Almost a turnover there. 4-on-1 break. Chandler kicks it out. Right corner, Crawford. That's a 3-pointer. Won't go. Rebound tipped and taken by Richardson.
Surprise there. They need to get a layup when they got a 4-on-1 situation. You don't see the ball go out to the 3 very often in that case.
Randolph, count it, and a foul. Another rebound, the putback. And a huge night for Randolph continues. 24 points and 17 rebounds.
He saved a lot of butts there after the misfortune of not getting a layup.
And a timeout called with exactly 5 minutes remaining here in the third. A terrific play from Zach Randolph continues.
or for a great selection of Knicks merchandise at the NBA store, located at 52nd Street and 5th Avenue in Manhattan. Knicks gift cards come in $25 and
Knicks basketball brought to you by Budweiser, who thanks you for being a designated driver. Exactly 5 minutes remaining. Third quarter here at Madison Square Garden. Knicks trying to win their fourth straight at home. Mike D'Antoni's team 4-1 at the Garden, 6-3 overall. And right now, as they come back onto the floor, an ovation as Brandon Jacobs, who we heard from earlier, and Plaxico Burress taking in the Knick game after beating the Ravens earlier. Right now, you look at what the Jets are doing, the Giants. Knicks off to a nice start. New Jersey Nets with a couple of nice wins. How about the Rangers? Some successful winter sports here in New York.
And that's good news all the way around. The metropolitan area needs it at this time.
82-73. Knicks by 9, under 5 to play. Zach Randolph having another just remarkable game. 25 points and 17 rebounds.
Trying to get the ball to Nowitzki down low.
Now they're taking it out of Nowitzki's hands, doubling him right away. Good ball movement. Brandon Bass gets inside and misses another jam. That's the second one he's missed today.
Yeah, and you saw Randolph actually put his hands up. He didn't want to pick up another foul, actually let him go, and Bass did him a favor there.
Bad pass, nearly stolen, but Robinson gets it back. Chandler on a drive, up and under, block. Nice rejection from Howard, and goes off the body of Randolph. David Lee's going to come in. Lee had an excellent first half with 10 points, 6 boards.
You can't afford to have Zach pick up his fourth.
Yeah, Randolph didn't get in foul trouble all that much last year because he, quite honestly, wasn't playing a lot of defense. But you see the difference because he's making the effort. He'll never be known as a strong defender, but he's trying to be part of the team concept.
He's buying into it, no question.
Brandon Bass, jump shot.
He's impressed, I'm telling you. Showing the ability to shoot a 10, 12-foot jump shot. He's a beast on the boards and goes after. He plays hard.
Crawford's shot won't go. Nowitzki and Randolph having just spectacular games. It'll be Nick Ball off the turnover. Randolph 25 and 17. Nowitzki 28 and 11.
David Lee on a good opportunity the way he's playing to get a double-double himself. Got 10 and 6 at the half.
Backdoor play and a turnover.
I didn't see Kidd on the help D that time in the lane.
3 steals for Kidd. Howard, he throws it right back away.
A little sloppy here.
And Crawford tried to thread the needle. 2 bad passes in a row by the Knicks.
Sometimes when you see a couple of turnovers, you got to come down and take care of the ball no matter what, even if you slow it down.
And Terry comes right back with a 3. Mike D'Antoni furious at his team for not running back. That makes it a 4-point game with 3:20 to play in the third.
Always preaching energy and consistency. Spirit didn't have it there on that turn.
Robinson gets inside. Chandler left wide open. That's a 3. And short. Crawford and Terry, 2 buddies from Seattle guarding each other. Terry gets inside, misses, and saved nicely by Crawford. Knicks trying to keep the pace going, and Chandler's drive is good. Nope, they're going to wave it off. Nate Robinson said, I never touched it. Mike D'Antoni says, but Violet Palmer, she's going to check with Joe DeRosa. It didn't appear that he touched it.
He did not. He touched the rim is what he touched.
If he touches the rim or the net while the ball's above the cylinder, it's negated. But there's good officiating. Palmer checks with Joe DeRosa, who says no.
I agree, Mike. Great teamwork there. You get a look at it. It's clear. Ball rattle around here. Nate will come in, and he touches the rim.
He touched the rim. That should have been negated. You can't touch the rim with the ball above the cylinder. She had it right.
I've seen guys do that a ton. They never call it, but according to the rules.
Terry, count it, and a foul. So a chance for a 3-point play. We'll have a timeout. Despite all the exciting plays for the Knicks, Rick Carlisle's team right back there again. Terry on the drive. This cuts it to 4 after a controversial call down the other end. Chandler with a nice move, but Robinson touches the rim while it's on the cylinder.
do NBA players do in the offseason? They give back to the community. Chris Duhon of the New York Knicks stressed the importance of reading to children at the National Book Festival in Washington, D.C. Rudy Gay and Mike Conley of the Memphis Grizzlies work with young people, encouraging them to lead an active and healthy lifestyle. And I spent the day planting trees in my hometown with other caring volunteers at a Go Green community event. I'm Shane Battier of the Houston Rockets. The NBA, where caring happens.
Clones versus droids. Jedi versus Sith. Good versus evil.
I will deal with the Jedi myself.
And a few laughs in between. You've just taken your first step into a larger world. Star Wars, The Clone Wars. A new adventure this Friday at 9 p.m. Their galaxy isn't far, far away anymore.
We're clear.
Only on Cartoon Network.
Of a new fan experience on NBA TV. Get all new live 24/7 access to the NBA. No other network gets you so close to the game. NBA TV, the game happens here.
Now that I've gone east, you only get 2 of these games instead of 4 of them. Come on, defense, let's go. Let's go, guys, go. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, Zach. Here we go, Wade. Here we go, Wade.
Trying to keep the energy up for his team, and that's been one of the problems in the early going. They have stretches where they play his up-tempo system to perfection, but to sustain it, sometimes they go stretches where they go a little flat, start going one-on-one, the ball movement stops, the moving away from the ball stops.
Yeah, it's very difficult to do, Mike. I mean, the biggest thing that he's trying to instill is to focus, and I think that's when they go through bad stretches. They just lose their focus a little bit and stray from the program, so to speak. He does a great job of keeping them alive, moving forward. Let's keep moving forward. Let's keep the spirit up. Let's keep the energy up.
Dirk Nowitzki, who used to play against Phoenix 4 times a year in the up-tempo system, having a little fun with him. Chandler with a hand at his face. That's good. Chandler has found the range here in the third quarter.
Pretty arc on that one from Wilson.
He's 5 for 7 in the period, and Chandler with 10 points in this third quarter. Also having to guard Nowitzki. Terry. Boy, Terry's made a couple of beautiful fakes where you think he's going to pass it and makes the shot.
Comes off of that screen, curling, getting into the paint area, and of course you said the fake there really made the defense back off, and he had an easy one.
He's got 14 in the quarter. And 18 for the game. Chandler pushed off for the right arm. Nope, they're going to call a block. Leon Wood, the outside official, was going to call a charge, but Violet Palmer calls the block.
Hardest call in basketball, they all say. Block charge. Get a look at it here. The smaller Barea on Wilson Chandler. Little flopping there, but...
Barea didn't have position, but usually when you extend that arm, that negates that. Knicks may have been fortunate there.
As long as you are in front of, you can still be moving and still get a charge. And as long as you're in front of the offensive player. But you're right, usually they signal for that arm coming out, and that'll usually go against the offensive player.
Shot clock down to 5. Chandler has had the hot hand, steps back again, this time won't go, and Bass the rebound.
Good block out from Bass against Lee.
Under 2 to play in the third. Singleton to Nowitzki. Here's the double. Barea left open. And he hits the 3 to tie the game with a minute and a half to play here in the third.
Got to keep your composure here. That time they tried to go down and double Dirk, and Barea nails the open 3.
And Duhon pass deflected. Last touch by Singleton. As Randolph will come back in. Chandler sits. Nice job with 10 points in the period for Chandler, but Mike D'Antoni has watched his team lose a 15-point lead. They've had that problem. Obviously, the Oklahoma City game, they were up big. They came back and came close. This is a different level of opponent, especially with the likes of Nowitzki on the floor.
And they've got weapons, and they're not going to be down all year. You would be surprised if they were.
Crawford, that's a three. Fight for the rebound, and Duhon able to get it because of Lee's work. Robinson, that's good. Nate Robinson from downtown.
All predicated on the hustle on the offensive glass to get another opportunity.
And again, credit David Lee, who has had a superb game off the bench. Barea spinning. Barea puts it up and draws the foul. And again, Robinson with the demonstrative reaction. He checks it in time, but that's the type of stuff officials, they're not going to give you any rope if you continue to do that.
Now Leon Wood staring him down. He's just watching to see if it continues, and Nate certainly knows the eye is on him. Not happy with the call against Barea.
The thing about Robinson, that's him. His emotion is such a big part of who he is and his success. And the key, and it's easier for us to sit here and say it, as Leon Wood kind of stared at him after he made that reaction. But the key is, you maintain all that emotion that makes you such a good player, yet at the same time keep that emotion in check with the officials.
Well, you also like the fact that that's how competitive he is and how much he wants to win. You've just got to channel that in the right direction and not hurt your team.
Robinson, dangerous pass. Randolph gets it inside the lead. Beautiful pass for Randolph. And for the Knicks, that's their 22nd assist of the game.
So suction cups again on Zach Randolph.
Jason Terry can't find the range.
If they look up, they got Zach Randolph all by himself.
Randolph gets it, goes up, lays it up, won't go. Barea knocked out of bounds, and it's Mavericks ball with 26.4 remaining.
A couple seconds sooner, he had himself a layup. Just didn't see him.
Nate Robinson, by the way, that last foul was his 5th. About a second and a half difference, shot clock and game clock. Knicks have led almost this entire game. Mavericks briefly had a 2-point lead, tied it here in the third. Knicks have led by as many as 15. Barea looking, 3 on the shot clock, drives inside, wild shot, stuffed in by Bass. As the shot clock expired, Leon Wood says it's good. It appeared like he got it in time, and now a whistle. The question was for Bass whether or not it was above the cylinder. I don't think so, and whether or not he was able to throw it through before the 24-second clock expired.
That was one heck of a follow-up there by Bass, and there's still 2.3. The Knicks still have an opportunity here.
Crawford from half court, and that will end the third quarter. Knicks had a 15-point lead in the second, led by 7 at halftime, led by 7 midway through the third. But plays like this has Dallas right back in. Let's see. Bass, and clearly that basket counted. So we head to the fourth quarter. Magic Johnson enjoying the game, as is the crowd. Knicks and Mavericks right now, a 2-point lead for the Knickerbockers.
This is some game. The Lakers are mounting a furious comeback.
Here we go, fourth quarter. Just watching the clock. You need a score. He's done it all tonight. Oh, what a move.
Oh, the crowd is chanting, Kobe, Kobe, Kobe.
He shakes free. He pulls up with the man in his face. Off balance.
Oh, what a shot by Kobe Bryant. 43 points on the night.
See it. Get it. Experience it. The game happens here.
This summer, as part of the NBA's Basketball Without Borders program, Randy Foye of the Minnesota Timberwolves traveled to Turkey, where he coached and mentored young basketball players. Kyle Korver of the Utah Jazz went to India and made sure that the kids had a new, safe place to learn and play. And I joined other players to help build 3 new homes for families in need in South Africa. I'm Caron Butler of the Washington Wizards, the NBA, where caring happens.
Get inside the game on NBA TV. All the best exclusive league access, plus the latest stats, scores, and coverage on NBA.com. NBA TV, the game happens here.
Acura, Advance, and by Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest. Fourth quarter set to begin. Madison Square Garden, a good one between the Knicks and the Mavericks. Zach Randolph has been spectacular again. His team had a big lead early, 15. But the Dallas Mavericks trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Playing like a desperate team here in the second half. They came all the way back to tie it as we get set to start the fourth. So the Knicks start out with Robinson, Duhon, Quentin Richardson, Lee, and Randolph. Knicks trying to win their 4th straight at home and get off to their best start in 10 games in 10 years. Chance of defense. Bass over Randolph. And Nate Robinson with a rebound. His 4th.
The fourth quarter has been troublesome for the Mavericks as of late as well. Their last 5, they've been really struggling, giving up about 28 points on the quarter.
Randolph forced that one. He hasn't forced many, but that one was a force. Their last game they played Friday night at home. They were up 10, actually up 11. As Lee tipped that ball, fight for the rebound, Knicks have it. They were up 11 against the Magic at home and lost in the fourth quarter. Richardson hits a 3, off a 2-pointer. His foot on the line as the Knicks extend their lead to 4.
Started with a good tough rebound from David Lee, and the Knicks pushed the tempo to find Q open in the corner.
5 Knicks in double figures. Berea kicks it out to Antoine Wright. Singleton, interesting lineup out there right now for Dallas. You have Berea, Singleton, and Josh Howard short. Singleton gets knocked to the ground, and now they call a foul.
Oh, that's a late whistle.
You know, I think that was, Kelly, I think that Joe DeRosa didn't want to call it because it happened right in front of Violet Palmer, but then realizing that Singleton got hit, he had to make the call. Mike D'Antoni obviously disagrees.
And the fact that the ball rolled out of bounds as well. That foul on Randolph is 4th. So a couple of foul problems perhaps as Berea hits another 3. Berea from Puerto Rico, played his college ball at Northeastern, was a big-time scorer, wasn't drafted. As Duhon goes to the basket. Nice move from Duhon. He's got 9 points and 9 assists. Good job of recognizing there was an open lane there, and Duhon saw it, took advantage of it. But you've got to be wary of Berea. As you mentioned, Mike, he was a scorer in college.
Wright misses a 3. Singleton the rebound. But this just is an odd lineup for Dallas.
I think they're going with an offbeat lineup to give their stars a rest and maybe, try something different since the fourth quarters have been a problem for them as of late.
Berea to Singleton. Singleton for 3. That won't go. Howard lost it out of bounds.
That was a line drive there. That didn't have much room for error.
And it's Singleton, who has not played a lot of minutes coming into the game. That's his first 3-pointer of the season. First 3-point attempt as Wright bumps Duhon. Duhon will take it out. Excuse me, Richardson will take it out. But Carlisle said we're just not playing well at both ends. We just can't get the big stop or hit the big shot. They'll need that to stop the losing streak here today.
That's unusual with a veteran type of team, which they are.
Randolph. Short. Now Randolph, who everything came in the flow through the first 3 quarters, has forced a couple here in the fourth.
Yeah, things get a little stagnant in the half court, standing around, not getting the same type of ball movement or player movement.
Just over 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Knicks with a 3-point lead over the Mavericks.
Well, this is where Nate Robinson can be a factor now, sparking this team with some energy.
Berea to Howard. Howard wide open. Knocks it down, and it's a 1-point game again.
Good ball movement, recognizing the open man that time as the Knicks double team.
Duhon. That's a 3. Chris Duhon coming up with another timely shot.
He certainly picks his spots, doesn't he? Kind of lays back in the grass, and you don't really think too much about him. He runs the club, but boy, he can hit some big shots when they need him. 12 points now for Duhon. 6 Knick in double figures, and Howard comes right back. They got caught in a mismatch there. Zach Randolph was guarding him, and you saw him back off, gave him way too much room.
Howard has 19. Knicks clinging to a 2-point lead. Duhon looking. Quentin Richardson, quick release. Puts in a 3. 10th 3-pointer of the game for the Knicks.
heating up once again. Both offenses.
And Rick Carlisle wants timeout. Quentin Richardson, who had his best year in the NBA under Mike D'Antoni, has made some nice plays here tonight. Duhon first with a three-pointer. Richardson here with a three-pointer. 6 Knicks in double figures. They lead by 5 here in the fourth.
This February, the biggest basketball event in the world is headed to the city of Phoenix. 2009 NBA All-Star Balloting presented by T-Mobile allows you to vote for your favorite NBA players. Log on to NBA.com and cast your vote. Also vote on your mobile phone at WAP.NBA.com or on your T-Mobile phone via T-Zones. Vote now and vote often, and you could win a trip for 2 to Phoenix in the NBA 2K9 sweepstakes. The 2009 NBA All-Star Game live from Phoenix, Arizona, February 15th, only on TNT.
Forward to playing in Boston, having fun. We all are energetic about trying to be the best team we can be. We're not a flawless team. We're a team in progress. We have to come out here and play together, and we didn't do it tonight. You have to continue to keep your head up, take it one game at a time. And if we can get through this, then it's one more step toward the goal. Win the NBA championship. It's for us to win, man. Just what we got to do to close this thing out. What you gonna say now? What can you say now?
Don't miss the action as the top teams in the nation visit the Garden for the 2K Sports Classic benefiting Coaches versus Cancer. This Thursday semifinals, Duke against Southern Illinois. And Michigan and UCLA. Winners will face off on Friday. For great seats, visit thegarden.com. Time for our Emblem Health Injury Report, which unfortunately for the Knicks, Danilo Gallinari has been a part of on a frequent basis. Same thing right now. They have prescribed rest as of now, no surgery. And he's going to sit out for about 4 to 6 weeks and then see. It's still hopeful. Obviously a major concern. The next plan is to let him rest for a while. Hopefully get the young man back on the court.
Big guns back in the lineup now for Dallas. Nowitzki and Kidd.
Nowitzki with 7 on the shot clock. Kidd steps back, puts up a 3. No good. Nice rebound by Wright. Stolen by Robinson.
Good hands there. Way to hustle. Nate making an impact.
Duhon, a double-double. 12 points, 10 assists. Gets it back, drives to the basket, flips it up and in. Great give and go with David Lee.
Boy, how about the burst of speed there? That's how you go to the basket. Do it like you want to do it.
Duhon in control out there. The Knicks up by 7. And an offensive foul. It's going to go against Bass.
Old style basketball. The Knicks with a little give and go. Chris Duhon feeds the high post, gets it right back. Look at that speed. Duhon finishes.
Bass's 4th foul. Duhon looking for Randolph. Bass guarding him. Randolph, the jump shot. That's good. Randolph with 27. The Knicks back up by 9. They've scored 7 in a row.
They do a great job of facing up and takes it down. You're considering the drive, and then he pulls up in your face. You don't have time to react.
Chance of defense from the Garden crowd. They've seen some terrific offense. Now they need stops as Howard puts up a 3, and that's good. Howard comes right back.
All set up by Jason Kidd. Tough in the post. He'll take smaller guys down in the low block and back you down. And when you come to help, he'll find the open man.
So Howard having a big game. Robinson, quick catch and shoot. And Nowitzki with his 12th rebound. Still so much time remaining. Just over 5 minutes gone by here in the fourth.
And they put Duhon on Kidd to try to take away that post-up ability.
Kidd out to right. Right, an open look. Can't get it to go. And Howard the rebound. Howard back out to right. Right on the drive. Banker won't go. Tip taken by Howard again. And he banks in the follow.
Tenacity on the glass right now for Dallas. 3-4 opportunities.
Robinson on the drive. Richardson steps back. David Lee looking to post up. Lee gets inside, right-handed short. And here comes Jason Kidd. Knicks look a little tired right now in their last couple of possessions.
Yeah, got to keep the energy up somehow by doing the ball movement. That would work tremendously for them. Finding the open man.
Duhon, the deflection. Duhon's the one guy that has the bounce. Zach Randolph was tired of that possession. Howard called for travel. And we'll have a timeout. Knicks get a chance to gather themselves. Rick Carlisle hoping for the losing streak coming to an end. The finish coming up.
Clones versus droids. Jedi versus Sith. Good versus evil.
I will deal with the Jedi myself.
And a few laughs in between. You've just taken your first step into a larger world. Star Wars, The Clone Wars. A new adventure this Friday at 9 p.m. Their galaxy isn't far, far away anymore.
We're clear.
Only on
What do NBA players do in the offseason? They give back to the community. Chris Duhon of the New York Knicks stressed the importance of reading to children at the National Book Festival in Washington, D.C. Rudy Gay and Mike Conley of the Memphis Grizzlies work with young people, encouraging them to lead an active and healthy lifestyle. And I spent the day planting trees in my hometown with other caring volunteers at a Go Green community event. I'm Shane Battier of the Houston Rockets. The NBA, where caring happens.
Get inside the game on NBA TV. All the best exclusive league access, plus the latest stats, scores, and coverage on NBA.com. NBA TV, the game happens here.
Ever dream of shooting on the court of the Garden? Kia Motors wants to make this dream a reality. Log on to nyknicks.com to register for a chance to shoot for $1,000 and a new 2009 Kia Borrego. Kia Motors, official partner of the Knicks. Sweepstakes entry ends April 8th, 2009. The early start on a Sunday has brought out a lot of young Knicks fans. They've watched Zach Randolph have a superb game. Had 16 of those points in the first quarter. But you've also seen Dirk Nowitzki throw up 28 himself. Just past the midway point here of the fourth. Duhon misses. Nowitzki tips it. And Howard will come down with it.
Really a good, Knicks need a good 2-3 minute stretch here. Try to take the ball game to another level and try to build on their lead.
Nowitzki falling away. Tough shot, won't go. Rebound deflected. Nice play by Kidd to knock it out of Duhon's hands. He thought he was fouled.
Yeah, you always have to be wary of him on the offensive glass. He's one of the better offensive rebounders at the guard position.
Kidd to Howard. Inside the basket. Great ball movement from Dallas, and it's a 2-point game.
He doesn't miss that one. We talked about him missing a couple of dunks this evening, but not that one. Wide open.
Well, after the Knicks went up by 9 with a little over 7 to play, Dallas answers with a 7-0 run. See Crawford back in the game.
This is where they need to execute.
Duhon finds David Lee to the basket. Stripped and stolen by Kidd. What a defensive play from Kidd. Here comes Bass. Bass on the drive. Offensive foul. Quentin Richardson hustles back and draws the charge.
That was a great job defensively by Q. You said it, Mike. The fact that he got back and got solid position and able to take the hit because he knew Bass was going to run him over. Get another angle. There's Quentin Richardson above that line underneath the basket, and no question about it, as he takes a tough tumble.
Richardson, 12 points, 4 boards, and a very big play right there.
They need some big plays here. Got to execute. Had it nearly last time.
David Lee on the finish. Lost it momentarily and got the ball back.
Wow. That was impressive. You're right. That ball came out for just a second, able to regather and finish with the flush.
A great pick and roll from Chris Duhon. His 11th assist. Make that his 12th. Nowitzki comes right back but misses, and Richardson the rebound.
Pick your spots now. If you've got something down the floor, take it. If not, pull it out and execute in the half court.
Duhon having an excellent game with 4:15 remaining. Knicks lead by 4. Duhon again. Drives, kicks it out. Randolph. Randolph for 3. Won't go, and Bass the rebound. Nearly poked away. Knicks 10 of 24 from downtown. Randolph on Nowitzki. Nowitzki short. And Richardson able to get position, and it's going to be Nick Ball.
Yeah, not surprised. You're going to see a steady diet of Dirk Nowitzki here for Dallas. Even if he's missing a few like he did the last two, look for him on the top of the key in a little two-man game action.
Duhon, the drive, the banker, won't go. Fight for the rebound. David Lee comes up big again.
New clock. No, not a new clock. Ball did not hit.
Shot clock at 7. Crawford up top to Richardson. That's a 3. Bang! Quentin Richardson from downtown. And the Knicks back up by 7.
Big time shot. Recognizing the clock situation. Found open.
Timeout Dallas. David Lee's offensive rebound gave the Knicks another shot opportunity. And Richardson able to hit it. The 11th three-pointer of the game for the Knicks.
Those are all about hustle plays. Offensive rebounds lead to opportunities like that one. Q from 3.
Mr. Barkley, you're here to answer for possible violations as an analyst for the NBA on TNT. Now, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Yes, I'm 1,000% innocent.
Well, is that so? Upon being asked about the team defense of my beloved Dallas Mavericks, did you not say, and I quote, "My mother could score 30 points on those guys"?
No, I said my grandmother could score 30. My mother would drop 45 on them.
This summer, as part of the NBA's Basketball Without Borders program, Randy Foye of the Minnesota Timberwolves traveled to Turkey, where he coached and mentored young basketball players. Kyle Korver of the Utah Jazz went to India and made sure that the kids had a new, safe place to learn and play. And I joined other players to help build 3 new homes for families in need in South Africa. I'm Caron Butler of the Washington Wizards, the NBA, where caring happens.
Mike D'Antoni pacing a little bit as his team now with a little breathing room. Our IOTV presents the HD highlight of the game. Get the best HD experience free with IOTV as Richardson's three-pointer.
That was big because of the fact it came off of another offensive opportunity by the hustle of David Lee to give the Knicks another shot at it, and Q took advantage of it. Now they need some stops defensively, try to ward off the Dallas Mavericks.
Kidd and Terry. Bass out there as well for Dallas with Nowitzki and Howard. Nowitzki, nice ball fake, puts up the shot, puts it in. That's his first points since the opening minutes of the third quarter. He had 28 way back early in the third, hadn't scored since.
But he's got short-term memory. He doesn't remember all those misses or whatever. You knew they were coming back to him.
Crawford on the runner. Crawford off the mark, Bass the rebound. Quickly Terry. Jason Kidd wide open. That's a three-pointer, and that won't go. Crawford the rebound. Kidd just 1 of 7 from the field. Crawford looks up at the clock. A little over 2.5 remaining here in the fourth. Knicks trying to win their 4th straight home game.
Mike, you want to be patient, but you can't get too patient.
Richardson left-handed banks it in. Pretty move from Richardson, having one of his best games of the young season.
Yeah, he's really been a spark, hasn't he? He's come through when they needed him most.
Nowitzki as the fans chanting defense. Howard back to Nowitzki. Howard cutting to the basket. Randolph right there. Count it and a foul. And that's the 5th foul on Randolph. And a chance for a 3-point play.
That's just terrific passing there. Mavericks really working a two-man game. Little post up into Dirk Nowitzki, gets doubled right back to Howard, takes the bump, count the bucket. And a moment ago, Q Richardson on the drive. Does a nice job. Fans like it, Q likes it, the Knicks like it.
Howard hits the free throw, and it's back to a 4-point game.
I don't expect Dallas to go away, and I'm sure the New York Knicks are not thinking that right now.
Dallas trying to snap one of their longest losing streaks in years. They've dropped 5 in a row.
And if you're going to want to win this game, you got to go grab it.
Crawford with Terry in pursuit. Shot clock at 7. Crawford on the drive. Finds David Lee. Jump shot. Won't go. Fight for the rebound. Bass lost it out of bounds. Dallas ball.
I like the hustle from Zach Randolph. Did a good job against Bass.
Kidd will bring it up. Knicks have lost 5 straight to Dallas. But a team that not only beaten them, but have beaten them handily in the last couple of years. Nowitzki on the drive. Lee stays in front of him. Falling away. Tough shot. It's good. Tough. Make from Dirk Nowitzki. He's got 32.
Even got David Lee a little annoyed because that was a tough shot. You saw him shake his fist because he thought, and he did, play good defense.
Randolph and Duhon play catch. Duhon on the drive. Shot clock at 7. Duhon looking. Shot clock at 5. Finding Richardson. Puts it up. Shot won't go. Jason Kidd the rebound. 2-point game with a minute to go. Kidd to Nowitzki. Nowitzki's going to post up David Lee again. Here's the help. Good touch pass. Howard for 3. Short Bass right there. Lost the ball. And knocked out of bounds. It should be Nick Ball as Bass shoved Richardson out of the way. But they call it Dallas ball as Carlisle wants timeout. Richardson looked like he got shoved by Bass. Mike D'Antoni red hot. But they rule it Dallas ball with 47.5 remaining. Let's take a look, Kelly. Howard shot off the mark. Bass had it, lost it. You know what? That's just loose ball.
Playing in Boston, having fun. We all are energetic about trying to be the best team we can be. We're not a flawless team. We're a team in progress. We have to come out here and play together, and we didn't do it tonight. You have to continue to keep your head up, take it one game at a time. And if we can get through this, then it's one more step toward the goal. Win the NBA championship. It's for us to win, man. Just what we got to do to close this thing out. What you gonna say now? What can you say now?
This is some game. The Lakers are mounting a furious comeback.
Here we go, fourth quarter. He's watching the clock. You need a score. He's done it all
for a loose ball, Kelly.
Well, he did. It's great hustle. Obviously, in the heat of the game, no question about it. Underneath a minute to play, they're just going after the ball, and they said it was off for Richardson.
Jason Kidd sets it up. Jason Terry on the drive. Pulls back. Short jumpers. Good. And the Mavericks have tied the game.
They were patient with that and knew exactly what they wanted to do out of the timeout.
They've come back from a 9-point deficit here in the fourth quarter. Crowd getting on its feet here at the Garden. Richardson holding the ball. Offense a bit stagnant. Randolph, couple of fakes. Randolph back out to Richardson. 3 on the shot clock. Richardson puts it up. Bank shot. Misses. Tip right to Richardson. Up with the left hand. He missed it. Randolph shot won't go. Battle for the rebound. Jason Terry. And the Mavericks call timeout. Knicks were close. Had some good looks, but couldn't put it down. And now Dallas will have a chance to win it in the final seconds.
They had more than a few good looks that time. Great tenacity on the offensive glass. And the Knicks just couldn't get what they wanted. The ball to go down the hoop. They get a look as Quinn Richardson really forced in. Got a little bit bumped there, but they kept it alive. It goes right back to Richardson. Has a real good look. And then the mad scramble for the ball, and the Mavericks take the timeout.
Richardson using his offhand off the glass, off that tip from Nowitzki. As Dallas will inbound with 9.5 remaining. They did not advance the ball after getting the rebound, so they can have it now in the front court. They're out of timeouts. The Knicks know, here's key, they have a foul to give, Kelly.
And they've got to be wary of that. Everybody has to know that. If you have to say it 5 or 6 times, know when to take it and make sure it's not in the act of shooting.
A reminder coming up tonight at 10 o'clock, MSGNY presented by ChevyOffers.com. We'll have complete post-game coverage of the Knicks, plus, of course, the entire day in the NFL with a big victory for the Giants. All coming up MSGNY tonight at 10 o'clock. So 9.5 remaining. We will have post-game after this one for the Knicks. Will it be another stirring victory, or will it be a very heartbreaking loss? We might have overtime as well.
Well, the important thing here, Mike, with the fact that you mentioned the foul to give, if a guy's handling the ball and they're wasting time dribbling, you can waste as much time as you want before you take that foul. The longer you can take that down before you take the foul, the better for the Knicks, because then it really puts pressure on the Mavericks. When they do take it out again, they don't have much time to shoot.
So they'll inbound in the front court. Nowitzki, Terry, Kidd, Howard, and Bass come out for Dallas. Knicks send out Duhon, Richardson, Crawford, Randolph, and Lee. Dallas has scored the last 7 points over 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And now the Knicks will call a 20-second timeout. Mike D'Antoni seeing where Dallas was going to inbound. Let's see if Rick Carlisle now changes that. Here's a little strategy going on from both benches.
Always a little cat and mouse as far as how they're setting up. And, of course, they have some of the plays over there that Dallas would prefer to run in these situations, and exactly how they attack it defensively. But, just because you have a foul to give doesn't mean you have to take it as well when we talk about that. So it all depends on exactly how Dallas is going to attack the Knicks defensively here.
And a key, too, for the Knicks, who still have 2 timeouts remaining. If Dallas misses a shot, grab that rebound and call timeout immediately. The Mavericks, no doubt, will hold the ball till the final second so the Knicks won't have a chance.
That's what you should do. It's either our shot or we go to overtime, or we win the game if you're Dallas.
Jason Kidd will inbound. Again, you always look for the guy who inbounds the pass to get it back. Terry comes off the screen. Final seconds. Tie game. Crown on its feet here at the Garden.
Should take it. He should take one.
Terry on the drive. Puts up the jumper. Won't go. Rebound Lee, and we're going to overtime. Duhon kept Terry in front of him and contested the shot, and they'll put 5 minutes up on the clock.
Well, they had an opportunity to take a foul. They decided not to, but that tells you exactly what Chris Duhon believes in his defense. He sized up Terry here and did a good job of shutting him down. We're going to overtime.
Clones versus droids. Jedi versus Sith. Good versus evil.
I will deal with the Jedi myself.
And a few laughs in between. You've just taken your first step into a larger world. Star Wars, The Clone Wars. A new adventure this Friday at 9 p.m. Their galaxy isn't far, far away anymore.
We're clear.
Only on Cartoon Network.
Overtime at the Guard. Knicks and the Dallas Mavericks after 48 minutes, all even at 112-112. Mavericks with a chance here to win it in the end. Duhon does a good job here, Kelly.
He does a great job defensively. A little surprising that they just spread the court and let Jason Terry go one-on-one. Duhon does an excellent job of keeping him away from the basket, and he could have taken a foul there if he wanted to, but, Chris Duhon is known for his defense. He says, I got him. Does a nice job of getting his hand up and forcing a tough shot, and the Knicks get an opportunity in overtime.
So the Mavericks finished the last 2.5, 7 straight points to tie the game. Knicks actually led by 9 with about 7 minutes to go. As Quentin Richardson trying to rally the troops now. Foul trouble you got to look at right now for the Knicks. 5 fouls on Zach Randolph, 5 fouls on Nate Robinson. Brandon Bass has 5 for Dallas.
And fatigue going to be a factor, because if you notice as the game's gone on, we had that great shooting, but things have gone downhill a little bit since then, and that means guys are getting a little tired. So you go in overtime, well, you got to find that extra bit of energy, find another level.
Duhon and Randolph have each played 42 minutes. Josh Howard 40 and Nowitzki 39 for Dallas. And Bass wins the tip. Knicks led this game by 15 in the first half, by 9 in the fourth quarter. Now it's overtime. Nowitzki, 32 for the night. Kidd right back to Nowitzki with Chandler on him. Shot clock at 7. Nowitzki, nice fake, draws the foul, and he'll shoot 2. And Dallas with a chance to take their first lead since the opening minutes.
Almost automatic from the line is Dirk Nowitzki. A little pet move here you're going to see as he backs him in. A little fake there, and up and under, gets contact. Good move from Dirk.
This year he's taken now 60 free throws, and he's hit 55 of them. He's right at 90%. And this, again, the first lead since the opening minutes. Knicks led almost the entire game. Dallas obviously came back to tie it. But now they've got a 2-point advantage. Richardson. Chandler has Nowitzki on him. Drives, the runner in the lane. No good.
Well, not much ball movement there. Looked like the Knicks standing around. Chandler got caught up top and decided to take a forced shot.
Brandon Bass.
Steady diet of Nowitzki here.
Nowitzki gives the Mavericks a 4-point lead.
You're going to pretty much see that every time down. They're going to go to Nowitzki, either in a 2-man game or on a post-up.
Crawford, that's a 3. Won't go. Rebound, Bass. Bass making big plays now.
Knicks got to find a way to get some stops here defensively.
Nowitzki again. Now they try and take the ball out of his hands. Go right back to him again. Chandler trying to defend. Nowitzki shoots over him and can't get that one. Ball tipped by Randolph, but right to Kidd.
And that's a clock killer as well, and that's good news for Dallas.
3.5 remaining here in the OT. Howard has Crawford on him. Quick spin move. Tough shot. In and out. Won't go. Richardson the rebound. And David Lee's going to come in. He's going to come in for Chandler. Lee's had one of his best games of the season. Mike D'Antoni needs a little spurt of energy right now. Again, Knicks a little tired down the stretch. Duhon to Lee. Inside. Left-handed. Misses the layup. Point-blank range. Knicks have had a couple. Here comes Bass running the floor. A blocking foul called on Richardson. And free throws coming up for Bass.
He got a tough angle from over here, but Q did another nice job of getting back. Tried to get himself set. You'll see as Bass comes in. Tough call. I thought he got himself set. Looked pretty good there.
It's close. That's close. Looked like maybe Bass forced him to move just a little bit at the end. Bass from the line, 1 for 2. And all of a sudden the Knicks are down by 5.
Haven't been able to get much of a running game going lately. And that's, you talked about that spurt of energy, that little bit of extra effort. You need to get something going.
And Lee can't handle a rebound. Ball tipped up. Another look. Nowitzki, he'll shoot a 3. That's good. And just like that, it's 8. Mike D'Antoni is irate. As Dallas has opened up a 120-112 advantage with 2:56 remaining in overtime. Nowitzki, another big shot. As Dallas has now scored 15 straight points. The last 7 of regulation. The first 8 of overtime, led by Dirk Nowitzki's 39. A desperate Dallas.
This February, the biggest basketball event in the world is headed to the city of Phoenix. 2009 NBA All-Star Balloting presented by T-Mobile allows you to vote for your favorite NBA players. Log on to NBA.com and cast your vote. Also vote on your mobile phone at WAP.NBA.com or on your T-Mobile phone via T-Zones. Vote now and vote often, and you could win a trip for 2 to Phoenix in the NBA 2K9 sweepstakes. The 2009 NBA All-Star Game live from Phoenix, Arizona, February 15th, only on TNT.
Mike D'Antoni has watched one that may slip away. There's still plenty of time. 2:56 remaining in overtime. But the Mavericks now in control as Dirk Nowitzki knocks down a three off for another offensive rebound. 39 for Nowitzki. That's the 17th offensive rebound for Dallas. And now the Knicks in a little bit of a hole. A game they led by 7 with 2.5 minutes to go. In regulation, Dallas came back and tied it. Had a chance to win it at the end of regulation. That didn't go. But the momentum has carried through here to the OT.
I think it all comes down to fatigue. I think, the Knicks had an opportunity to try to close this game out in regulation and couldn't get it done. And Dallas seems to have had more energy, and that's carried right on into the overtime, and it's been all Dirk Nowitzki.
Now, the mindset you think would be, oh, you got to shoot threes right away, but they don't have to do that as Duhon, and that's exactly what the Knicks would like. Being able to shoot from the free throw line, and that's where Duhon is going. Duhon comes up limping after Kidd commits the foul.
They have banged knees with Jason Kidd trying to take the charge, but yeah, you're right. I mean, they need to attack. They've got to find a way to get opportunities to go to the basket, pick up the tempo a little bit more, and try to beat your man. Don't settle for threes.
Duhon's first trip to the line today. He's 73% for the season. And again, another terrific performance. Now 16 points and the 12 assists. He's 8th in the league in assists per game, and as you saw, 3rd in assist to turnover ratio.
Well, 2 by 2, but you got to get stops. That's all it comes down to.
6-point game, and still plenty of time. They're going right back to Nowitzki. There's the quick double team. Kidd, though, trying to find an opening. Gets Josh Howard for his jump shot. That's good.
Yeah, right now, Mike, they're just spacing. You're just killing the Knicks on that. Any kind of double team, Kidd's finding the open man.
And Kidd with a silly foul there. Second team foul. In the overtime, you shoot on the 4th. Kidd picks up his second.
Knicks in scramble mode.
Duhon pulls back. That's a 3. Short. And I've said that about a lot of the Knicks shots down the stretch of this game.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to finish shots. And now Dallas will use that clock every possession. Watch it go down under 5.
122-114. Nowitzki taking his time. Again, single coverage. Misses that one. Richardson the rebound.
But they'll take the trade-off because the clock went down. Shot that with about 5 or 4 seconds left, even though he didn't make it.
Crawford on the drive. Quick move and won't go. David Lee trying to keep it alive. The Knicks have had 5 or 6 layups go in and out. The opportunities have been there. The Mavericks still in control here in overtime.
Tired legs, short shots.
Howard. Quick drive. Shot won't go. Rebound taken by Lee. Now Knicks really have to push. Duhon on the drive. Oh, yeah, he got hit. Nowitzki hit him. And the Mavericks will come the other way. 1:15 remaining in overtime. Kidd again, Wisey will take time off the clock as some of the fans head for the exits.
Yeah, Kidd will go into his Curly Neal impression here.
Howard. And knocks it down. That makes it a 10-point game. Timeout. Knicks. As Mike D'Antoni has watched this one slip away. And again, Dallas has scored the last 7 points of regulation and have come out here in overtime and outscored the Knicks 12-2. Timeout. 59.6 seconds remaining. Dallas on the verge of a terrific come-from-behind win here at the Garden.
This February, the biggest basketball event in the world is headed to the city of Phoenix. 2009 NBA All-Star Balloting presented by T-Mobile allows you to vote for your favorite NBA players. Log on to NBA.com and cast your vote. Also vote on your mobile phone at WAP.NBA.com or on your T-Mobile phone via T-Zones. Vote now and vote often, and you could win a trip for 2 to Phoenix in the NBA 2K9 sweepstakes. The 2009 NBA All-Star Game live from Phoenix, Arizona, February 15th, only on TNT.
Knicks are on the verge of another thrilling win here at the Garden. Instead, Dallas looks like they'll snap their longest losing streak in 9 years. As you see the 19-2 run, 7-0 to end the regulation in 2.5 minutes. And then they have just dominated here in the fourth. And Rick Carlisle, he's not smiling there, but on the inside he must be, because Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks have struggled down the stretch of games. Here they made all the big plays.
Mike, a desperate team is the most dangerous team. And Dallas Mavericks, as you said, they look like they were in big trouble. But down the stretch, they found a way. They went back to their big-time players, and they have made big-time plays, whether it's, been a Nowitzki or a Howard or a Jason Kidd. Everyone's had a hand in this. And the Knicks, I think, just fatigue has set in and just got to a point where they just weren't getting the same shots and weren't finishing around the basket, and they've really, really struggled offensively.
Well, a lot of Knicks playing a lot of minutes. That's Mike D'Antoni. That's his system. That's one of the reasons why he feels it works. He plays guys a lot of minutes. It's only 7 guys have played. Marty Collins played 5.5.
Well, the season is a time of learning experiences as you go along, and this will be another learning experience on how to put a good team away when you have the opportunity.
Hey, Robinson back in, kicks it out to Richardson for 3. That won't go. Barea the rebound. The one guy who really looked tired was Zach Randolph.
Yeah, I mean, look how much he did this evening. I mean, he offensively, rebounding the ball, you name it. And they just couldn't maintain that consistency, and you can't ask him to take it all on his shoulders. He needed some help. He didn't get it.
And the Knicks pretty much conceding this one by not fouling. Barea gets in, throws up a wild shot. Richardson the rebound.
Now you got to look for threes.
Hey, Robinson. That one won't go. Nowitzki grabs it, and now the Mavericks can dribble it out.
And the basket is just swallowed up. It's gone to about half its size. That's what it seems like to the Knicks.
Knicks missing their final 13 shots from the field. And again, a 19-2 run by Dallas. And this one, Knicks losing a heartbreaker. They blow a 7-point lead in the final 2.5 minutes of regulation. Dallas dominates the overtime. As the shot clock expires, Knicks will have 2.3. And again, the Mavericks end a longest losing streak in 9 years, and it ends at 5. So that'll do it. A tough one for the Knicks to lose tonight. The final score in overtime, 124 to 114. Knicks fall to 6-4 overall, and their mini 3-game home winning streak comes to an end. They're 4-2 at the Garden. Meanwhile, Dallas improves to 3-7 overall and 3-3 on the road. A Budweiser play of the game. And this was in overtime. Dirk Nowitzki, big three-pointer. That put Dallas up by 8. That was pretty much all she wrote. 3 of his 39 points for Dirk Nowitzki. Budweiser reached for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. So a tough one tonight here at the Garden, as the Mavericks come out on top with a big come-from-behind victory in overtime.